Hello everyone. Happy Imbolc. Well, that was yesterday, but kind of today. I'm trying to get it so you can't see the scruffy stuff on the side of the room. So yesterday, going into today, is Imbolc, which is sometimes referred to as St. Brigid's Day. Hi Kathy, hi Fiona. Yes, I'm good. I'm pleased you're both well. That's great. So we have the Celtic New Year today, and it celebrates the goddess Brigid, and who the Christians then took over as Saint Brigid, and then the Christians also called it Candlemas. So it's also a lot to do with, as the Christians did, they took on the symbolism, or some of the symbolism, of the Celtic traditions. So it was easier for the Celts to get their head around it. And one of the lovely symbolisms of Imbolc is the dark earth, so the snowy earth. Of course, it's more like mud down here, but there's the snowy earth with the lovely snowdrops. I got a few snowdrops, and the red morning sun, because it's the beginning of the New Year, as I said, the Celtic New Year. So it's like the beginning of things, the dawning of the year, and that's where the white and red come from. And one of the one of the lovely symbolisms is the earth candle. So creating candles for this time to warm up the earth. So in the Steiner schools, they actually even put the melted wax into the earth and light it with a wick in the earth. So yeah, it's a lovely symbolism. So we've got a red candle for our warming up of the earth tradition there. Hive. And I'm trying to wear red, but it's not really working, red and white. I just don't wear those colours, so I haven't really got them. But let's do a yoga practice that is just about, new beginnings and that feeling of the beginning of the year, and that time. It's a time just in between solstice, exactly in between solstice and equinox, where it doesn't feel quite so dark anymore, and it's beginning to come. It'll be equinox in 6 weeks, or whatever it is, a bit longer than that, a little bit longer, and it will be. Then we'll have exactly even night and day. So this is the time that feels like it's just, yes, we're getting towards that new, coming back to the light. So it's a point of feeling like we're really coming back to the light now. So okay, that's enough about Imbolc. Let's start some yoga. I'm going to put our snowdrops in an incredibly unsuitable jar, a little cup, and of course it doesn't actually. They actually just float around in there, but we know they're there. We could put them and have them just there, some little snowdrops. Okay, so coming into your comfortable seated position, kneeling, cross-legged. You can always do things like deer pose as well. That's quite a nice one. So however you are to start. Let's begin by gently taking note of all the sounds around you. And we'll start by stretching our ear to the furthest sounds that we can hear, the furthest noises, any noise of the elements outside. It's quite windy here, so I can definitely hear wind. It might be that you can hear bird song. Just depending where you are, it'll be different for everyone. And then drawing your attention to the sounds in the building that you're in. So see if you can differentiate between the noises in the room that you're in with the noises in the rest of the building. So rather than focusing on anything too close to you, see if you can hear stuff further away. And then draw your attention to sounds in the room that you're in. So around you, a little bit closer. Obviously, outside will still be carrying on its merry sounds. And same in the rest of the building. But just focus on this room, the room you're in. And then begin to notice the sounds inside yourself. So we're really drawing closer. And before you focus on your breath, notice anything that's going on for you inside your head. There might be a buzzing. You might be able to hear your heartbeat. Might be some slight clicking movements, sounds from movements, anything like that. And then start to deepen your breath. Drawing in the inhale deep into your lungs. Notice how the whole of your upper body, this torso area, expands as you inhale. Notice the lifting gently from the crown of the head. And on the exhale, there's a softening of the belly, all around the rib cage, the chest and the shoulders. Deepening your inhale and lengthening your exhale. Inhale deeply, lengthening, imagining a golden thread lifting very gently from the crown of your head. And as you exhale, lengthening the out breath, really noticing a softening in yourself, relaxation. Let's begin with our own vibration. Start our practice together. Oh. then gently opening your eyes. And we'll begin by taking 3 neck rolls on either side, so looking down at your feet and softly moving your head around, being careful of the back of your neck. So you're inhaling up and exhaling down. And just going as slow as you need to go this morning. I'm actually going really quite slow. It feels good. It was the first thing that we're doing as well. When I'm doing neck rolls like this, I lose count because anything around my neck means that my brain just kind of disengages a bit. And then the other way, if you haven't already, you've done your 3. Being as mindful as you can, this area. Going as slowly as you can. And then gently lifting up the head. And we'll bring in the gentle shoulder rolls. So we're just going to go really slowly. It's like we're waking up from a winter slumber. It might be there's the cold earth outside. And yet still, little plants are coming up. Just feeling like that, you've been hibernating for a while and you're beginning to, it's the first little flutters of spring. Slightly confusing in Devon because actually everything comes up really early. It's such a warm county. And then the other way. But still our snowdrops are just opening their little bonnets out. Just feeling like that, like you're coming out of a gentle sleep, like more deep sleep, and you're gently waking up. Waking up might take several weeks as the seasons go. We're kind of identifying with Mother Earth here as with nature. And then maybe have a little rock from side to side. You see, I'm using my hands like in a flowing motion down my knees and gently snaking my spine, moving one shoulder in front as I go. It's a bit like seated cat, but you're actually going from side to side. Keeping your sit bones as much on the mat as possible. And there's a little bit of a twist into it. And so we could start bringing in our twists, moving the hand to the back. So the left hand, as you look left, your left hand is going back and then coming back again. So you're accentuating the movements. Now, the same movements we were doing and creating a twisting. You still got your, if you're going right with your right hand behind, you still got your left hand on the left knee. So it's just a gentle twist. It's not the full twist. And then moving your hand over to the full twist. And we'll just flow in this twist. So inhaling forward and exhaling into the twist. So it's really gentle. You see, I'm still keeping my if I'm over to the left, so you might be the other way, but I've still got my right hand on my left leg, but I'm moving forward as I do it. And my left hand behind is fairly steady, so I'm not really moving that so much, but the shoulders moving. And keeping my sit bones fairly anchored to the mat. So imagining the snowdrop is actually a really lovely analogy because it's like we've got our roots in the earth, in the bulb that we've been sleeping in the whole winter. Quite a long time actually, all through the summer as well. And then starting to come up and bobbing our heads. So there's a movement, there's always movement with the winter winds and things like that. And then gently moving to the other side, flowing over. Inhale around. Also exhale around and inhale back. I always think of this lovely Steiner kindergarten song about snowdrops. I think maybe it's not age appropriate. It's really sweet. I'll sing at the end. Just for anyone who's interested. Inhale. Exhale as we go over. Inhale forward. Lovely. And bringing ourselves back to center. Bringing the right leg around. So we're coming into deer pose. I'm actually going to release. I'm going to release my blanket, but I'm going to pop it under my left hip. And that's just because I forgot my neti pot again, Kathy. That's what it is. And so in deer pose, I find that I kind of like fall over to the side. I do it with pregnant women. They're totally fine because their hips have changed. But I find that I go over there. So I'm popping the little blanket or cushion underneath my left hip at the moment. And the right leg is the one that's folding backwards. So we'll place down the left hand and then calming over. And then inhaling up and then over to the other side. So you're like a windmill or something. Let's take off my, doesn't create scratchy noises on the audio device. Lots of lovely deep breaths. Really waving in the wild winds of winter. My dad wrote a lovely song. So I have all these kindergarten songs and class 1 songs are coming into my head. It's because in Steiner schools, in Waldorf Steiner schools, they're really into the festivals. bit more in the Christian slant, but the way they do them are very much the pagan way, the Celtic way, but they use the Christian names, everything's very much to do with the seasons and the nature. So yeah, especially the kindergartens. So they're all stuck in my head. Yeah. So here we are still in deer pose. We can place our left hand down again and lift up into like a mini stargazer. So we're not straightening the right leg, but we're just coming up and stretching. Lovely and long. Waking up side body. And then bringing yourself back down. And then straightening out your leg. The right leg, that it is. So actually, ta-da, you're in Shavasana. And we'll come over to the side. And exhale over. And flowing down. So we're doing a bit of a windmill flow. Having a bit of a flowing practice today. A bit like my Sunday video. I don't know if you watched that one, the yoga for equanimity. It was really flowing. So a similar kind of thing. It's great for if you're feeling this is a lovely one lovely way of practicing yoga. If your energy is feeling quite low, it means you can just do everything really gently and slowly. I mean, some of you might be feeling absolutely fantastic. I just got really low energy at the moment. So we're gently moving forward. Exhale. Inhaling up. And then finding your way to look at your feet. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale forward. Exhale. So it's Shavasana, but with our little bit of flow. And you can even be coming up here if you're feeling like you don't want to be really far down. You can bring yourself down and then bring yourself back up. It's a really nice way of practicing. And then over into the side twist again. So bring yourself up and then twisting over for a little bit. And then bring yourself forward. Let's bring the legs out. Lean back. Make sure this is all okay. I hope it's not too rustly. Problem is that my jumper's a little bit, it's covering it, so it might be a bit rustly. So pointing and flexing your feet. And then opening up the legs a little bit and rotating the ankles. And the other way. And opening up the legs. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhale. Lovely to have a bit of sun come in. And walking the hands out, just resting here for a moment, flexed feet. If you want to come up again, you can, and bring yourself down, so forward fold, wide leg. And gently bring yourself up. And then the feet together. Inhaling up, exhaling forward. So there's a wide space between your feet and your pelvis. Exhale. Inhale up And exhale down. And if you're not feeling very flowy this morning, woe betide you. No, I didn't mean that. You don't have to like flow is what I'm trying to say, is you could actually just be here and rest here. There's so many different ways of practicing yoga. You can just rest. It's not feeling right for you to flow up and down. And then let's bring ourselves back up, and we're going to move the left foot back. So the lower leg is on the outside of the upper leg. And then bring the right foot into the groin area. And I'm going to place my blanket just underneath. It just moves me straighter sit bones. And coming in here to deer pose. And then placing the right hand down and coming over into the side stretch. Inhale up and over. Gentle breaths, remembering you're breathing like the wind outside. You're the wind blowing through the branches of the trees, through the stems of the flowers and the petals of the flowers tentatively coming up. And then bringing yourself back up. I'm just thinking, actually, I've forgotten what we did on the other side, and I can't ask you. We didn't do a twist. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah, we did a little stargazer. That's right. A little mini stargaze. So we're lifting up, stretching. That's the only problem with live streaming without like doing it on Zoom or something. Is sometimes it's handy having people in the class remind you what you did. Okay, opening up, straightening the left leg into Janu Shavasana, and then coming over into the side stretch. And windmilling the arms, ankles, rotating the shoulder. And then coming forward, and you're forward in Janu Shavasana. So either you can stay here, just have a little look up occasionally, and then come back down or wherever you are, or bring yourself up and sliding down. Remember your beautiful deep breaths, really connecting with the elements outside, the wind or rain or whatever's happening where you are. Might be a beautiful still day, but it certainly isn't here. And then inhaling up, and then exhale over to the side. The slightly unfair thing is we're living in the cabin and it's got no pathway to it, so it's just basically a mud path. And then in North Devon, and it's really mild down here, and in North Devon, It's blooming snowing. Just seems a bit unfair. But then we do have lovely mild weather, so that's all right as well. Okay, so bring yourself forward and then straightening the legs out. Leaning back, pointing and flexing, feet. Lifting up the knees and rock from side to side. Feeling quite nice and awake in the hips now. So waking up from our legs, our hips upwards, and we've had a nice stretch of the shoulders. Then coming onto all fours. Bring ourselves in the cat position with the knees below the hips and the hands below the shoulders. And inhaling an upward cat. Exhale, downward cat. And exhaling, we're lifting up the pelvic floor. These are silly, these things, they just keep popping off. Lifting up the pelvic floor and tummy. And inhale, you can loosen that area. Exhale. Inhale. So moving through the traditional cat flow. So keep doing that. Just going to check. Okay. I was just checking if someone was telling me my audio is broken. But they weren't, that's fine. And then bringing the movement back to stillness and start to sway the hips in a figure of 8. So again, when you exhale and you're lifting up your belly and pelvic floor in the center of, or as you're going up in your 8. So I'm yawning. Then this, make sure you're strengthening. You're using this as a way of strengthening that area. And then coming back to stillness, and we'll do the rocking back. Exhale back, child. Inhale forward, and we actually can move our hands a little bit further forward for this bit. Inhale forward, like a bit like a high cobra, upward dog type thing, and back. Really stretching out your upper back as you go back. You can take as long as you want in each part of this, whatever's feeling good for you. Inhale up, so cobra. And then exhale, turn the toes round. Coming up into the hover. So we're giving ourselves a bit of a moment of strength in the abdominal area, lifting up pelvic floor, really nice and strong. And if it's too much, then opt out of the hover. And then coming back into downward facing dog. But we're going to go into half downward dog first. So the chest is guided back towards the knees. And then lifting up into an acute down dog. So you're right up on your tiptoes. And then placing the one heel at a time down. Walking out your downward dog. And then gently walk your feet towards your hands. And you'll be bending your knees as you come to Uttanasana at the front of the mat. So here you could start to straighten your knees, but make sure, if it feels okay, make sure you're not locking up the back of your knees, so keeping them nice and soft. And just hanging here, you could have your hands on your elbows. And then gently rolling yourself up, so your head, of course, will be last. So you're going really, really slowly, stacking one vertebra at a time onto the mat until eventually you come back up. It's nice. So you're standing here in Tadasana, lifting up your belly, slightly tucking in your pelvis, rolling back your shoulders, lifting up from the arches of your feet. Lift up your toes, place your little toe down first, then the one next to it, then your middle toe, and then your second toe, and then your big toe. So nice wide feet. And we're going to come into, I really don't do sun salutations. I don't really teach them very much, but I'm going to attempt to teach, I normally do them, but with variations in it and a lot slower. So it'll still be slow, but I'm going to attempt to teach or take us through some just a round or two of sun salutations as a homage to the dawn, so the dawning of the Celtic New Year. The sun glimmering from behind the hills with its beautiful pink sunrise, red sunrise, and just suggesting the beginning of spring. So let us bring the hands to the heart and take a breath here. And inhale, stretching up, extended mounted. Exhale, the hands together, down to Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, so that we're looking forward. Exhale, folding forward. Now take a breath in to prepare, and then exhale, step back to downward facing dog. And we'll take 2 breaths in downward dog. Take a breath in, and then exhale, bring yourself to plank. So now we can lower the knees if you need to. I'll do the full version just to show what it can be like, but lower your knees if you need to. Take a breath in and plank, and exhale, lower down onto the mat. Inhale, coming up into baby cobra or low cobra. Exhale, folding forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, back, downward dog. Take a couple of breaths in downward dog. Breath in. Exhale, bring yourself forward. Breath in, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands to the heart. Breathing in and lifting up. And exhale, hands back to the heart. Good morning, new year. One more time. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, step back to downward dog. 2 breaths here. Breath in. Exhale, coming to plank. And now breath in and exhale, either lower the knees down and bring yourself down. Otherwise, chaturanga, bring yourself down. And then inhale and lower your knees down, your legs down. Inhale up into a higher cobra if you wish. Otherwise, stay to the low cobra. Exhale, bring yourself down. Breathing in. Exhale back, downward dog. 2 breaths here. Breath in. Exhale, bring yourself forward. Inhale up, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the heart. Bend the knees and inhale up into extended mountain. Exhale. Hands to the heart. Lovely. Oh, got into that. I could do loads more of those. But I think I won't because we'll just stick with 2. It's our little nod towards our sun, the rising sun. And then gently bring yourself to the middle of the mat. So wherever you are, that's fine. You might be still facing this way. And we're going to bring in the sunrise stretch. So you can actually, with this one, you can have your feet quite far apart. So again, welcome sunrise, welcome dawning new year. And we can hold our fingers, our thumbs together like this. And we can have our fingers quite apart. So it's like a bird ready to fly. So inhale, stretching up. Oh, sorry, wide legs. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, bending the knees and bring yourself forward. Inhale up. Exhale over. So greeting the sun with this lovely, gentle stretch as we go round. Inhale up. And exhale as you go over. So if you're finding the thumbs restriction too much, it can be quite full on holding your thumbs together. You can actually just put them next to each other. That's fine as well. You've still got your birds. Your hands lifting up. Other way. So we're going in the other direction now. Exhaling down. Inhale up. Bending the knees. Stretching out one more time round. Lifting up and then bringing the hands back down by your side. And then while we have our legs wide, we can just take a little twist from side to side, so bobbing the knees. Lovely, gentle, flowing twist. That's good. And then bringing the movement to stillness. In degrees. So this is the Trikonasana stance. If you don't like Trikonasana, don't forget you can do a warrior instead. Because I know with at least one person here, they find Trikonasana difficult because of hips. So if that's an issue for you, warrior 2 is sometimes quite nice. It's quite easier to do. So opening up your arms, and I teach you with a bent knee first, and then straightening the knee. And this is where block can be handy, or you just rest your hand wherever it wants to rest on your leg, with the back of your hand on the leg and the palms outside. Opening up. Exhale the hands to the heart, and then inhale, open. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to, because it's stronger doing that. Exhale, hands to heart, and inhale, open. And if you're choosing warrior 2, for example, you can do the same movement too if you wish. So really feeling the earth and the sky. So the dark, cold earth of winter, and the beautiful sky beginning to lighten. The days getting longer. The sun spending a little bit more time on this side of the planet. And then bending your knees and then coming back up. And then to bring yourself so that you've got your legs facing in. We're going to be coming to our goddess posture. So the goddess Brigid, who is, is seen as very good luck. So she'd come around, traditionally in like Ireland, she'd come around and pay a visit to each house. And you'd leave things out for her, food and things like that. And she'd come and bless your house. The spirit of Brigid. And then people used to make little dolls and little bridey dolls. Her other name is Bridey. And also they'd leave out clothes. It's traditional to leave out clothes for her to bless your clothes. So it's interesting. I actually don't know the symbolism of clothes. So it must be about kind of warmth and prosperity and being nurtured. Okay, so coming into the goddess posture, so bringing yourself down. So there's a really nice strong squat here. You can feel those powerful legs. Whew, really powerful. And then lifting up one foot, so one heel is coming up. And your mudra, your chin mudra, where you've got your thumb and forefinger together, you can have those out. And then lifting up the other side. Bring your hands in and then opening. You can do anything you like with Goddess. It's really lovely because you can really bring in her flowing movements. The hands, you can have your hands facing the other way and moving, remembering your pelvic floor, your mula bandha, really strong. So you're having like a moment of like, what I mean is you're using your strength of your pelvic floor to hold yourself here and support that area as you're squatting. You can bring your hands, your mudra in, so one is at the heart and one is your belly. And then fierce goddess. So bring your hands up. You can still have your mudra if you want. So bring your hands up and your right leg up. And then the breath. So you're really poking your tongue out. Like it's like lion's breath. So you're really kind of using your deep breath to get out all the any stagnant air left in your lungs. So lifting up the left leg. And again, the other side. Lifting up the left. And bring yourself back up. So it's like the lioness. So this is the strong, fierce side of the goddess. There's the beautiful, mothering, nurturing elements. And then there's the fierce side, which comes along with the mother as well. Of course, stay away from my babies. Things like that. Okay, so turning your left foot round and your right foot about 15 degrees, not too much. Oh no, how is it 45? No, sorry, it's 45 in Warrior One. So no, it's 15, it's still about 15 degrees in this. Okay, so opening up your arms, bending your knee a little bit. Exhale. And then finding your place. So bringing from the heart. Inhale, open up. Oh, lovely. Good. So remember, you might be up here, and that's fine. Just see where it is good for you. You've got a straight front leg. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale. And of course, you don't have to do these movements. And then feeling yourself being brought back up. Bring yourself forward, hands to the hip creases, and then bring yourself down into the full squat. And then opening up your knees, having your hands at the heart in Namaste. Opening up your knees with your upper arms. And remember that if you find squat difficult, you can always put under each heel. That's a really good one. And then gently bring yourself down onto the mat. And just point and flex the feet. I'm just going to grab my clock. Good. And just take a moment to bring the knees up and then move from side to side. So you're swaying out your hips. You just done some leg work. That's good. And then we'll make our way down onto the mat. But let's bring ourselves first, and before we go onto the mat, sorry I said that too soon, we'll bring ourselves up into Navasana, which we don't do very often. So we're coming into the boat posture and looking forward. So you've got your hands behind your knees initially, lovely and straight back, really strong abdomen, looking straight ahead, deep breaths, holding in your Mula Bandha and your Uddiyana Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha is your diaphragm area. So really lifting up your abdominal muscles. And if you want to and you can Take your hands away. And if you can straighten your legs, then please do. That's not my forte. And then bring your feet together and exhale forward, just for a little bit of a counter posture. Stretching out your lower back. And then bring yourself up. Looking straight ahead. Deep breaths. And bring yourself forward. Wonderful. Deep breaths, one more time. And then exhaling forward. And then bringing your feet into your hips so that you're in the closer Baddha Konasana, so that you're in cobbler. And then inhaling up and exhaling gently forward. So you're not going too far, just as far as is comfortable for your inner thighs, your inner groin area. Quite a strong stretch. And then gently lifting yourself up and finding your way onto the mat. Placing your hands down by your sides and gently rocking your pelvis. So exhale, lift up your coccyx, sacrum, hips. Exhale, then inhale when you're up, and then exhale them down. And let's start with a quicker. So we'll go exhale up and inhale down. That's just a slightly quicker flow to begin with. So lifting up your pelvic floor as you exhale up. So your navel is going back to spine. So imagining there's a crystal bowl with some lovely spring water sitting on your belly. You don't want to disrupt it. So it's just gentle movements where your navel area, your belly is just going back towards your spine. And your pelvic floor is lifting as you exhale. And inhale, allowing your pelvis to rock back to neutral. And then taking the crystal ball off your belly, because that's going to get a little bit disrupted probably in a moment. We'll exhale and then gently draw yourself up so that you're coming up into a bridge. You take a breath in and then exhale. One vertebra at a time back onto the mat. Now, if your knees are opening, you can use a block or something, or a soft ball or something to go in between your knees. Take a breath in and then exhale, gently peeling your spine off the mat. Bring yourself up. Breath in. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, then exhale, peeling one vertebra at a time off the mat. Breath in, then exhale, lifting up your arms above the head so they're resting behind you on the mat or the carpet behind you. Breath in, exhale, bringing yourself back down. So that's one vertebrae at a time back onto the mat. Breath in and then exhale, your arms down. Let's do that one more time. Breath in, exhale, bring yourself up. Breath in, exhale, arms up above the head. Inhale, exhale, gently placing each part of your spine back down, really softly onto the mat. Inhale, then exhale, bring the hands down. It's lovely, good. Okay, and then we'll gently bring the knees into the chest and just have a little rock around. And then leave your right knee in and your left leg straight and flexed. So inhale, the knee can move away a little bit, and exhale, coming towards you. Exhale. Lovely. And then lifting up your left leg, and so the knees pointing the ceiling towards the ceiling, and you're planting your left foot, and then coming over, so you're bringing your right leg is over, so your ankle is on your thigh, then bringing the hands behind, and you're coming into your leg cradle. So this is a wonderful one. If you ever get to end of a practice and go, oh, I wish I'd done pigeon Uttanasana, and then actually you can just do this at the end, and you're like, feels nearly the same. It's not quite as intense, but it still can feel pretty similar stretch. I'm actually rocking from side to side because it feels nice to do that. So if you want to do that, you can. And exhaling the legs towards you. And then releasing the hands and see what it's like to just twist over in the pigeon. So you're kind of like coming over into it. The left-hand side, you're coming over into like a reclined pigeon twist. And look out over your right arm, stretch out your right arm and look out over. That might be too much for your hip. That's quite strong, actually. So if that's too much, please don't do that. And bring yourself back up. And then release down. And straighten out your right leg and bring in your left leg into you. So you're hugging your knee, flexing your right leg. Deep breaths. Lovely, lovely deep breaths. That's good. And you can always give your ankle a bit of rotation. That's nice. And then bringing the right leg up, so the knees facing the ceiling, and then you're coming to leg cradle on the other side. Taking your hands behind. You're taking them through your legs and behind your thigh. Breathing in. Again, I'm rocking from side to side, so you might not want to do that. You might just want to bring them in and be quite still. Depends on your body. And then you can come over into a twist on the side. So you're coming over to the right side, placing the foot. It means that your left foot will be down flat on the mat, and then bring your hand out and looking out over your left arm, left hand. It's a funny little twist, this one. Kind of made up, but it's quite, it's kind of still like, it's kind of more in the hips, isn't it, than in the waist? Or in the... And then bring yourself back up. It's lovely, drawing in the legs again. And then releasing them down. And then lifting up your pelvis over to the side, so over to the right side. Lift up your knees into your chest or leave them down. And then come over into the twist. So lift up the knees if you want to. And then come over into the twist on the left side and looking out over the right side. Gentle, lovely breaths. Any sighing or yawning is fine. And then bring yourself back up, realign the hips and over to the other side. Lift in your knees if you want to, otherwise just move yourself over into the twist. And looking out over your left arm. Deep breaths. Remember, you can be putting your right hand on your left knees or back of the knees. It helps kind of like take you into the twist a little bit more. And then bring yourself back up. And stretching your body right from your toes to your fingers, giving yourself a full body stretch. And then lifting up your right leg and taking it over the top of your left. So your right ankle is over your left ankle, kind of hooking your leg around. Yeah, and then you're going over to the left. So this is banana pose because you're going to become like a banana. So then you're taking your left hand onto your right wrist and drawing it over. So you're stretching the right side of your body. So you're like a banana. And then bring yourself back to center and over to the other side. So the left, the right leg goes over a bit and hook your left ankle over right ankle. Yeah, and hook your foot. And then your right hand is clasping your left wrist and you're being pulled over to the right and the stretch is on your left side of your body. So up your left hip and left ribs and all that area. Up into your left arm. And then gently bring yourself back to center. And bring the knees into the chest and have a little rock around. Rotate your again. And then come up into happy baby if you like this one. So you can try with your hands on the outside and then maybe try with your hands on the inside. They're a bit different. And have a rock around. You know, when babies suddenly get into that kind of like dangerous phase where you think they're fine lying around like this, and then suddenly they start going, whoop. I find it in happy babies. Sometimes I want to do that. They start like rolling off the bed and things like that. And if you want to, you can take your peace fingers around your toes or your hands inside your legs and have one of the wide leg stretches again. Such a good stretch, this. And then bringing the feet together, opening up the knees and having a little bit of time in Baddha Konasana, lying here, resting. And then it's time for you to move into Shavasana. So you're coming into the corpse posture, making yourself really nice and warm. So finding your socks and blanket, and you could have a cushion underneath your head. Just make yourself really comfortable. Lying down, fully relaxed, feeling completely held and supported by the mat and by Mother Earth, our beautiful, still earth, waiting to be reborn, having a much needed, well-earned rest, and just beginning to waken up now. As my father wrote in one of his songs, everything changes and all things must die and all things must live again. So it's a circle of life, the circle of the seasons. And of course, in every moment, everything is dying and being reborn. Every cell in our body, every part of nature, every thought, every movement of the river is changing. And on this hemisphere, our earth is ready to be reborn, is slowly being reborn, and every moment closer to spring. We and self-held by this wonderful Mother Earth. Feeling yourself completely relaxed, right from the crown of your head, right down of your feet. Every part of your body and fully and completely relax. Can fully and completely relax. Deep, peaceful, excuse me, deep, peaceful relaxation in your heart space. Center of your chest, radiating out from this area, wrapping your whole body in a delicious, warm blanket of relaxation. Your whole body is deeply relaxed. Full, gentle warmth wrapping around you. Feeling the stillness wash over you, surround you in comfort, nurturing. Let it go. Let go of the ways you thought life would unfold. Holding of plans or dreams or expectations. Let it go. Save your strength to swim with the tide. The choice to fight what is here before you now will only result in struggle, fear, and desperate attempts to flee from the very energy you long for. Let it go. Let go. Let it all go and flow with the grace that washes through your days, whether you received it gently or with all your quills raised to defend against invaders. Take this on faith. The mind may never find the explanations that it seeks, but you will move forward nonetheless. Let go, and the wave's crest will carry you to unknown shores, beyond your wildest dreams or destinations. Let it go and find the place of rest and peace and certain transformation. Start to deepen your breath if you wish, or stay resting for a while. Begin to find a little bit of movement in your body. Maybe moving your fingers, your toes. You could take a full stretch right from your fingers to your toes. So you're stretching out your whole body. You can bring your knees into the chest if you wish. Have a little rock from side to side. And finding your way over onto your side. You can just rest there for a moment. And making your way back up to seated. Finding yourself in a comfortable seated position. And drawing the breath into your lungs. Beautiful deep breaths. And bring the hands to the heart center. Or close by chanting Om vibration 3 times. Finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Breathing in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. then bring your hands up into Prana Mudra above the head. Taking 3 deep, life-affirming breaths. And hands overhead in Namaste. Down through the centers, Sahasrara, the crown, Ajna, third eye, Vishuddhi at the throat, Anahata at the heart center. Namaste. And thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me in this Imbolc live stream class. It's really lovely to have you. Yeah, so we've had someone saying hello. We've had some people here. So nice to see you, Cam Only and Trevor Miles. So I hope you didn't lose me too much. I did notice there was something. Okay, so had a very rude man in the chat box saying rude things, and then other people. Okay, so always interesting who pops by, decides to say hello. Bye, Kathy. And I don't think you can make Thursdays, can you? I think Thursdays don't work for you. So just notice my teeth. So lovely to see you all anyway. And I don't know who was here, but I know that Kathy, Eve, and Fiona were here. That's fine. But it's always there if you want to do it, play it again. It'll be there on. If you can't make Thursdays, it'll be there. And what I do is I chop the beginning bit away, so it's not so long intro, and then it's just kind of easier just to get into. So yeah, if anyone else wants to say hello who's here, because I don't know who you are. It's always nice, but it's been good. It's been a consistent 6 people, so that's nice. It's always good to have some peeps. So happy Imbolc and happy New Year. And so hopefully we can see each other again soon, properly in the flesh, and just enjoy a little bit of time being together. Thank you, Eve. That's great. And yeah, lots of love to you all. I haven't got anything profound or significant to say, I don't think. So I'm just going to wish you all a really lovely day, and I hope the lockdown is doing okay for you, being okay for you guys. Been quite full on, hasn't it? Lots of lockdowns, but we'll be back in a field together sometime at some point, or a yoga studio. Anyway, lots of love to you all, and take care. Thanks for coming. And I'll be doing Thursday, unless I get ill or something, but hopefully I won't. Thursday between 7:30 and 8:30. If I do ever forget to send out the links, just turn up. Okay, bye.